In the previous episode, Audrey moved to her new house to start a new challenge. In this video we are unlocking the athletics skill and we are going to complete some careers and lifetime wishes related to it. But before we go 100% into this skill, I'm going to try to complete the things that were left unfinished in the previous house, specifically her career and lifetime wish. Audrey needs 2 promotions to accomplish both, so I intended for her to accomplish this in 2 shifts in a row, since 4 non-working days will follow after that. The first promotion went off without a hitch, since she had more than half of her performance bar filled. For her last promotion things weren't so simple as she only worked 5 hours a day, 1 less than most jobs. So with that in mind I bought her a computer so she could work from home and thus raise the performance bar. Unfortunately that wasn't enough and Audrey missed out on her final promotion by a hair. Since the last promotion cannot be requested from her boss, or at least that is what I have experienced in situations like this, we will have to wait those 4 days. So it is time to move on to my other plans. Specifically having Sammy Jeckers move in with Audrey. With all the work we had to do at the old house I kept putting off making Audrey and Sammy friends, so that was the next thing I did. Since they barely knew each other, the guy turned down my invitation to her house the first time, so I spammed him with a lot of calls until he accepted. After a few hours of talking, Sammy agreed to come over to the house and talk more in person. By nightfall they were friends and the man agreed to move in with Audrey. I changed him a little in cast because his mouth and nose were almost stuck together, so I separated them to make it more harmonious look, but I left his other features as they were. I was pleasantly surprised by the color of his hair. Blue suits him well and is Audrey's favorite color, so it's another point in Sammy's favor. I sent Sammy to start with this house's skill because it was about time someone did. But he was interrupted by his adult birthday before he could earn the first point. I was a bit worried about his birthday, since some NPCs grow weirdly and go from young adults to elder, or get stuck in the young adult age. But luckily that wasn't the case with Sammy and everything went as it should. After his birthday I had him earn that first skill point and then go sign up for the criminal career, in the middle of the night to start getting into the mood. This is one of the reasons I chose Sammy. He already comes with the become a master thief lifetime wish. He only has 1 trait, kleptomaniac, and by challenge rules I can't add or change traits with the midlife crisis screwword. Another burglar visited us at home, regardless of the fact that this is a coworker's house. But this time we were prepared unlike before. The alarm alerted the inhabitants of the house, waking them up just in time to witness the police arrest the criminal. Sammy thought it was all very funny. As a current coworker, the man approached the thief to free him and warn him not to return to his house. Sammy realized that he had to become the head of organized crime if he wanted to restore honor among the thieves. The policeman objected to this release, but could do little more than complain. Even though I knew it wouldn't work, I still invited Mags over to the house to ask for a promotion, but the option never came up. At least I confirmed what I thought: the last promotion has to be earned at work. So the next few days until her next shift, Audrey will be focused on athletic skill. Sammy and Audrey decided it was time to move from friendship to something more. I like it when Sims wish to do things with other Sims. I take it as a sign that they are interested. Like Audrey wanting to kiss Sammy or him wanting to go on a date with her. They spend many hours on the exercise machines. So in order not to get bored of watching them doing such a monotonous task, I also make them do other things to spice up the game. Sammy made use of his kleptomaniac trait, and thanks to that we now have a car. Look how good he looks driving it on the way home. For her part, Audrey is dedicated to a more tamer task, searching for collectibles around Riverview. The day of her final promotion arrived, and since Audrey is almost halfway through her adult life, I decided to buy time and have the couple look for the heir to this house. It took 2 attempts until the bells were heard announcing the conception of the baby. Finally, Audrey reached level 10 of the culinary career, fulfilling her dream of being a celebrated 5 stars chef. First career and lifetime wish completed. 85 and 57 respectively, more to go. That doesn't scare me at all. I swear. Upon reaching level 10 we got the -1 Kelvin refrigerator, which for me is the best work reward in The Sims 3. The next morning Audrey's pregnancy was confirmed and the game gave her 11 days off. I'll have to remember to adjust this in story progression for future pregnant Sims. I'm making the woman jog to the places that have gems and rocks to collect them, thus combining two activities at the same time. These kinds of challenges make me think of efficient ways to play The Sims. Unlike the gems that I'm going to try to collect in their different cuts throughout the challenge, I'm only analyzing the space rocks and selling them to complete the journal challenge, but I'm not going to have a sample of this collection to show since they're all the same shapes. I'm putting all broken electrical and plumbing objects in the family inventory, thinking about the future house. I think you can imagine what the third skill to unlock will be. Audrey went into labor. Sammy didn't seem too concerned about his girlfriend's condition. That way though, I was able to make sure he didn't take her to the hospital, as I prefer home births because it makes the baby born as a friend of the mother. Benjamin was born with the option to choose two traits, which were athletic and excitable. He is the heir and only son of this house. I prefer to keep the family small in this house since there are only two unlocked skills. Audrey takes advantage of the time when her husband and son are sleeping to exercise. Sammy, on the other hand, sometimes goes to the gym, mostly to change his surroundings. Although it's more for me than for him, I'm tired of always seeing them working out in the same place. While the founder and heirs must each have 2 unique lifetime rewards, there are enough rewards to leave some free for everyone to use. Like Office Hero and Professional Slacker. Sammy and Audrey thought it was time to tie the knot, but they preferred to do it intimately in some nice place in the town. Since they weren't going on a honeymoon, I sent them to the cinema to see a movie, though they were more interested in themselves than in what was happening on the big screen. When they got home they realized that the babysitter had done his job well and Benjamin was peacefully in his crib, so they could be frisky on their wedding night without worries. The days passed very quickly for the new parents, and their son was now ready to be a toddler. Benjamin grew up with that greenish-brown color that we all consider horrible, and we don't understand what EA was thinking when they created it. So I decided to give him his father's color. Following his wife's example, Sammy also works out while his family sleep. This time he was more motivated than usual as he was able to reach level 10 of the athletic skill. Although he still has a long way to go before supermaxing it. Benjamin received his imaginary friend in the mail. I did what I usually do to get rid of them. I left it in the graveyard. I find this way to be the most effective since removing them usually gave me glitches. Audrey was the one who taught the child all his toddler skills. Since she was still on leave, she was the one with the most time available. And she did this in just a day and a half without having the family-oriented trait. I think this is a record for me. And with Sammy playing with Benjamin to show you that he is not an absent father, I leave this video. Since I'm going on a trip for a few days, I prefer to upload what I've played of this house so far, instead of making you wait any longer. In the next video we will finish all the tasks necessary for Benjamin to move to the third house. Until next time, bye.